Hello, Internet, and welcome to Weekly Shonen Jump Review with Fonzie.
And Hero.
And this is for Weekly Shonen Jump's March 25th of 2013 issue.
And we would like to...
We start off with the worst character on the front page of the... It's the title. Great shot of whatever the hell he is.
For those who don't know what he's talking about Yuma from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zex, so... Get set to get dick, motherfuckers, yeah!
Oh, but flag this video now. Inappropriate language.
Oh, what's wrong with his hair?
Okay, what's wrong with his hair? Anyways, to get past that terrible character design, we're going to start off with Naruto. And back from where we started, both Madara and the first Hokage actually ended up getting both of them in a trap by their own families. And just with more ninja garb, which actually is pretty cruel and intense, is that both the fathers understand that the first tactic is to literally kill the most inexperienced. So what do they both do? They both try and kill the younger brothers. You kidding me? Both of them are aiming for the kids. People are sick. Ninjas are sick. But of course, some quick rock throwing work by both Madara and Hiroshima.
The rocks have saved the day!
However, Madara does not take this as well as Hiroshima does.
And pretty much Madara and... was it Hiroshima? Or
Hiroshima.
Yeah, Hiroshima. Are pretty much going, ninjas are not supposed to fight, not like this! That Pokemon first movie reference.
Yeah, but because Madara said that he would swore his oath to protect his little brother, anybody who went and tried to kill him would become a mortal enemy. And thus we begin with the eventual decline of their friendship and the awakening of Madara's Rasengan. Rasengan?
You are so bad. It's Sharingan.
Rasengan, Sharingan, it all ends with the same gan.
And so as years pass, they keep fighting each other.
Eventually, until at some points there are some ceasefires, but it doesn't seem to last too often until Zuma actually gets in one kill strike into Madara's brother.
And so Hiroshima, asked for for a truce, and that both the Uchihas and the Senju will be like will like come together and just stop fighting and all that stuff. But Madara was like, no, you killed my brother, so I want revenge.
Yep, but even so, after activating the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan and awakening the Susanoo within him, he still ends up defeated. Boy, what is Hiroshima made out of? Awesome?
I guess so.
But Madara continues to contemplate of whether or not he should still trust Hiroshima and whether or not Hiroshima should actually kill him. Mm-hmm. However, Hiroshima still sticks to his gut feeling and doesn't want Madara to die, even showing the literal death glare to his brother. However, Madara makes it out that the reason that he can't trust him is because, well, he doesn't have any more reason to trust him since his brother is dead. So he gives him a literal option. Either kill your brother or kill yourself, and then I will trust you when you have made either choice.
Ouch.
Boy, talk about a real ultimatum.
I'll either die to him or die to me.
What's that a reference to?
Team Force R, we all know this. And so we now get to World Trigger, where
I is still standing outside the school, and a bunch of the kids wondering why a border agent is still there. And of course, Yuma, and Osamu continue to head out towards the building, but aren't sure why I is there and why we get a glamour shot.
Okay, she pulls back her hair and go,
Yeah, somebody's pretty, whatever. What's she doing here?
Even Yuma's like, what is she doing? She's like, well, never mind.
And of course, she actually...
I'm still a bitch.
Yeah, but of course, her real reason is here to actually escort Osamu to a border HQ. even though he is completely capable of doing this on his own.
But
And of course, there's more arguing and bitching.
But that wasn't the real reason why. I think the whole escort thing was a lie. Just so they can get out of public.
Well, also on that, I think she still wants to at least try. She's smart, but she's smart to the point where, like, she's, like, obstinate about it. She's, like, trying to build her own sense of confidence, like, her own sense of self-worth, because all she's trying to do is just prove her side right. Even though she is right in this instant, she's just trying to do it to build, yes, like you said, her own ego.
Yeah, so she, which I'm assuming that she has, like, some sort of, like, superiority complex.
Aside from that, Yuma is the only one to actually destroy that one with another, once again, wildly quip of, in fact, trying to whittle his way out, which he seems to be doing quite well. This guy's got the best poker face.
It's, like, and, like, he still keeps owning her in, like, every turn.
Yep, which could probably be ending up as his own doom, because he could probably giving away too much information.
And his little poker face is like his troll face. Well,
I think that's what the artist was going for. The troll face is a legacy on the internet, so why not make it actually a character quality?
and so Yuma brings out the fact, that maybe she's scared of the competition.
Yep, that maybe Osamu's actually a great border agent, and she's not.
Which, but the thing is, it's really not true, because Yuma wants to lie about the whole thing, so nobody finds out that he's actually a neighbor.
Okay, but it also seems out that the border control, I just said that reference, is actually made up of a very small amount of people, being of the C ranks, which is Osamu's level, is of 400 people. The B ranks is about 100 people. And the A ranks, which I belongs to, is only about,
30.
30 people. That's all throughout the entire world for border agents.
Yeah, that's not really large.
Which obviously means that probably most of these guys are going to end up cannon fodder. Aside from that, Osamu actually asks how in the world border doors seem to be actually opening up around the city, especially not in the incursion zones. And that, of course, is intrigued Yuma a bit, but Ai actually explains that she didn't want the public to know about this because the doors are actually opening up in weirder areas, or known as abnormal gates.
And so one gate suddenly opens, and we
plot device activate.
The plot device activates, and this neighbor is up.
Nothing says fear me like giant fish. It's like the bombardment.
Yeah. In its belly, it has bombs.
Wow, well, I'm gonna hate myself for this, but this is probably the worst time for Japan to get bombed again.
I don't know why, but I have a feeling that this is some historic reference.
And even if it's not, still we will be going to hell.
And so they go trigger on.
However, Osamu,
which I think is still stupid. The trigger on. I think it's still stupid.
It's Shonen. You gotta get your parts in there without. You can't get away from all Shonen completely.
But Yuma still doesn't have enough energy to activate his. La 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 na 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 na.
Yeah, he still doesn't have enough Tryon. The term is Tryon.
I'm gonna use energy because it's all the same to me.
Yep.
Energy, chakra, Tryon, spiritual pressure. It's all the same.
Yep, but it seems like Io is going to take care of this one by herself.
With a gun.
All right, chicks with guns. Now this series is starting to get good. But we have to unfortunately say goodbye to that one and go to my favorite, Ichiro Oda's One Piece. And oh my god, if he didn't start out with probably one of the weirdest references ever. That of Che Rodriguez of the Communist Party in the form of a flag.
Like, didn't he do this, like, the last chapter, or...
He just likes making references everywhere. But aside from the reference, we now actually get back to the main plot point, whereas after a bunch of these crooks who were, peddling an old man, actually were sent down below and had the floor destroyed.
Crooks, the crooks go down the hole.
Yep, and of course, the Mugiwara crew doesn't seem, and by Mugiwara crew I mean Straw Hat crew in Japanese, of course, do not pay mind to this, but know that he has some strength. However, this guy doesn't actually leave with the best intentions, because he warns them about that, but it seems that one of the swords got stolen out of Zoro's, and it has to be the treasure of Wano, the Shisui, which he earned in Thriller Bark. And of course, Kaiman's going to completely nail Zoro for this one. And they go off, and both Sanji, Zoro, and Kaiman go running off after the sword. Of whoever has it, not completely sure. However, Frankie and Luffy, Frankie decides to stay behind and actually asks Luffy.
Still looking like Jewish rabbis.
Yep, but gotta say, it works for Frankie. He's really out there. He's got a middle nose. That hasn't still changed. And of course starts asking questions about where the factories are. But of course it seems that the crook did not know anything about it because he's just a mere underling, and only those of the Don Quito family, which is Doflamingo's family, are the only ones who know about it. But of course he starts going off on how you may be able to actually get anywhere is by going through the Colosseum. And of course he says of what they're offering as a prize. But of course, before that, we get a nice little introduction of many of the heroes of the Colosseum, and of course the prize, the Meru Meru fruit, which of course shocks and awes the entire crowd, being it that it was once Fire Fist's ace fruit. And of course, we bring out some of the weirdest looking Colosseum characters. But then again,
Senor Pink,
Del Linger, Lao Ji, one of the old men from the previous ones, and Machavice.
Machvice or
a weird guy,
or just Vice. We'll just call him Vice.
Yeah, that's what they seem to call him. And of course, the hero of the Colosseum, Diamante.
I think it's Diamante.
Well, whichever which, he has a weird face. But then again, this is Ichiro Oda we're talking about, where the guy can make shapes threatening. You ever see a triangle, scare the shit out of you? Yep, this is that series. And of course, it seems that the blind samurai seems to be in the crowd, and now Luffy knows of the flame fruit. Boy, I'm gonna love the next chapters.
And someone from the crowd says, "We want to see blood."
Well, it is a Colosseum. Don't forget, this is sort of like, Caesar, Rome.
Yeah.
Sending Christians to the lion pit. Real good stuff.
I hate you.
Hey, don't argue with history. It's not... I'm not even going to get into that. But of course, to get more nonsense in, we have Nisekoi. And I'll admit, I saw a little bit of this.
And this is a Valentine's Day chapter where Borodina is trying to make chocolates for Ichijo while talking to her sister on the phone, and the thing with Borodina, she sucks at cooking. Like all anime women. The Regine. And my iPad is breaking up again.
Yeah, this is a big event, people. But in the process of making it, and I'll admit that I looked through this a little bit.
Because really, this chapter wasn't really anything special, so I don't think we don't have to, really talk too much about it. Because, come on, it's a Valentine's Day
are you kidding me, dude? She makes something. We're not sure what it is. It comes out of the stove. It's black. It's oily. It's smoking. And when she calls over one of the other girls to, I guess, help her out, she notices that the thing actually starts looking at her. Whatever that's supposed to imply. And of course, out of all the girls, all of them seem to give very, very strange gifts.
Chitoge's one is like freaky. You know, like it actually gets possessed.
It looks at you. You're not good at this. And one of the girls seems to be welding something.
Oh my gosh! Like, just wait till later, and she does like a million, and Ordina does a million kinds of things, and one where she actually perfects. And when Valentine's Day comes along, that's when his pervy friend comes and goes, expecting chocolates.
And we all know that he is. He's in deep denial.
And the thing is, like the pervy friends, like I'm like actually tricks one of the girls to think that Valentine's Day is a day to give chocolate to people you hate. Very smart.
That's a great way to start off Valentine's Day. That's evil.
Okay, I can't remember her name. But she's Chitoge's bodyguard. You know, she's actually an assassin. And the thing is, you know, she's like the stereotypical, you know, like born to be an assassin. So she's never been, so she's never had a normal life. So she knows nothing about Valentine's Day
or being in love. And of course, she has no idea what to do with chocolates or why she would give it to him on Valentine's Day. Until
he actually mentions, well, Valentine's Day is the day when you give chocolates to people you hate. Well, in that case, yay!
And of course, the first is a giant chocolate statue
of Ichijo. This is from the girl. You know, she's the sick. You know, the sick girl. No, I don't mean like crazy sick, but actually physically sick.
Yeah, flag this video for inappropriate content.
And the thing is, okay, what's that? Okay, like, she basically turned the statue of David with Ichijo's face on it, and his reaction is priceless.
That is the most disgusting looking piece of deliciousness I've ever seen.
And of course he runs up and she chases him with the statue.
That's not creepy. That's not creepy at all.
That's not perverted.
I quit.
And so Ordina found Ichijo, and she runs towards the Ichijo. She trips, and suddenly becomes embarrassed and runs off. Wait, what? Who cares?
Well, that's because she ended up actually breaking the chocolate that she worked so hard to make.
It's so good. I'm so sad.
Well, that's a teenage girl for you. And since we're two, over 20 male men, we're never going to understand this kind of feeling. We have, junk.
Yeah, and now we get to Toriko, which this one is weird.
Well, I actually gotta say for this one, because we've known Tommy Rod for quite some time, especially during the Century Soup arc, that this is essentially the final bit of conflict between him and Sonny. Now, as you probably all remember, is that Sonny had re-released his Satan hair, and had told Tommy Rod that this would be their final attack. Of course, this would mean that either one of them could get killed in the fray. And, of course, the first one to strike is going to be the one that dies. Which is odd to say the least, because Tommy Rod is the first one to throw a strike. Striking through to Sonny's face, yeah, that's one of his qualities. I don't think he wants to wake up knowing that his face got scratched. However, Sonny gets in a final killing blow, striking through Tommy Rod's chest, and then striking him backwards with more multiple hair shots. Even though the Tommy Rod desperately tries to fight off Sonny, he still just gets consumed by the hair and eventually is wrapped in a cocoon of hair and is completely devoured. And this is...
Dang.
And of course, Sonny reverts back to his original hair and eventually goes down and gets knocked unconscious. But this is also a
his hair turning. Okay, as he falls, I just keep thinking like Super Saiyan 3 hair.
Well, it's probably something around that line, but it also notices that Vice Chief Tommy Rod has been killed. So that's the end of a quite neurotic character. However, back to the other chefs fighting for their lives, we do notice that most of them are having trouble with the nitro.
And one of the chefs, is showing a lot of cleavage, and the skeletons are way too skinny to cover her nipples, and yet she still has no nipples.
Do you see any of the fans complaining?
No,
Nope.
Apparently not.
Nope, but aside from that, it seems that most of the chefs are being protected by Zebra's sound barrier. And of course,
he looks familiar.
Yep, and of course,
Yu Yu Hakusho. That guy from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, you mean Tagoro?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I could see that now. And of course, I just love this only phrase in the few chapters is that, "Just you wait, you lizard scum." Oh, he's gonna take on the Nitro. This is gonna be fun. But back to the weird scene with the 5 government officials, and it turns out what they're doing is quite dark. They actually seem to be aware of the fact that the Byoshu Kukai actually were planning on attacking the Colosseum, and they actually were setting up their own plan with chefs and other government officials and other Byoshu Kukai and create a new utopia called Neo.
Whoa.
And this is also quite weird, but the fact is that they also want to take out Granny Susano. And it also seems that Zeus is actually back. He did not actually die from Star June. So he seems to be in the plan of Neo too. However, it seems that somebody else is also with them, but is still on the battlefield. Of who that is, not completely sure. However, then we notice that... However, we do notice that the next battle will probably involve Tegu and the strange centaur man that he was fighting beforehand, which took a lightning bolt to the face and still seemed to survive. So next time on another epic chef battle, Iron Chef.
Oh, come on! So serious!
Yes.
I would actually like to see like a cameo. In Toriko, the Iron Chef guy. That'd be hilarious.
I'd like to see that too, but we have to get back to more nonsense. Back with One Punch Man. And of course, back with Saitama and Genos walking down a hallway,
Walking down the hallway.
And then the beetle comes to kill you. There's got to be a nursery rhyme for something in there.
and so they're flying. And so they're flying through the hallway with the good doctor
in the clutches of this giant beetle man.
Oh, there they are. There are 2. Which is it? The one on the left. Right. Well, then I guess I don't need the one on the left. Boom.
Yeah, because that's the type of voice we're gonna have for this, psychopathic killing man beetle.
Yeah, and Saitama just takes it pretty well. Goes, Genos?
Well, Genos is kind of a cyborg, so I could actually understand how the idea would be, he's okay.
And Kabuto gives, like, the strangest rape face.
Well, he is complete rape face, so I wouldn't question it.
And so Saitama says, "Bring it on!" And where did they take him? To the danger room. I made an X-Men reference.
Okay, but even so, Genos gets back to the fight and tries to blast Killer Kabuto with a blast of energy. However, that ensues to fail, and of course, Genos tries to use his super speed to get the upper hand on Killer Kabuto. However, Killer Kabuto is actually not fast enough to evade the machine gun punches. Yeah,
Kabuto, just gives him like a, like a bitch, please.
Yeah, pity face.
And
slams Geno to the ground, and oh my, what is that?
Yeah,
breaks his face.
Half of his face, and Saitama was like, huh, well.
That happened.
Yeah, Saitama is just...
Geno seems to be probably the weirdest character because I still think it's grotesque to see him as that because just the idea of his face getting smashed in, and he's such a real-looking character aside from Saitama. Just to see him have half his arms and chest and even his face, completely destroyed.
I don't know why, but I think Saitama is based on Luffy, like just his personality.
Oh, pretty aloof. Huh, get it? So Genos tries to fire back one more blast before
with Kamehameha and
Kabuto.
He just blows it away. It's like Genos like, well, fuck.
It's been switched from suck to blow.
And so it looks like that Genos is gonna die, which he gets like an afro.
Well, I guess it's steam from overheating because he is a cyborg, and I guess a lot of his circuitry is in his head.
And then Saitama gets all super realistic.
Yep, and of course Killer Kabuto is completely
yeah, and then he gets super realistic.
Yep, super dynamic, like Fist of the North Star dynamic. And of course Kabuto continuously keeps doing the pissing contest that is his dialogue, and actually tries to go in for a killing blow, but actually gets scared.
Saitama, just by looking at him, just scares him.
He didn't even look at him. He looked at the side of his face,
and suddenly it scares him. But the thing is, it's his animal instinct, which I guess
that makes some sense because he does have animal DNA thanks to the.
But the thing is, they're using this animal instinct as like another, chakra, energy.
Well, more like a sixth sense. It's like how animals can sense danger and humans only predict so much.
But still, with Shonen mangas, I mean, this is the most. It's like the most. It's like the ultimate stereotype in shonens. Where they have to have like some sort of energy or sixth sense. It's like one of the main formulas of shonens. And to be honest, it's just getting old for me. It really is.
Well, it's technically the shonen stereotype, but you gotta take the good with the bad. However, it seems that even after Killer Kabuto decides to rant and rave about him being so strong and why he is, he actually...
Saitama goes, okay, now I'm going to kick your ass.
But first, he's actually going to tell them why he's so strong. So we're about to get some backstory. Dragon Ball Z, Special Beam Cannon.
Yay!
Hurts Raditz. Yay! Raditz fights back. Oh!
That's your tail. Brother. Well, since you asked nicely.
Nope, we don't get that. Get that one. Remember, Team 4-Star. Please subscribe.
And stop hurting my daddy!
And Gohan decides to go kick ass on everyone.
And
then we get to Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal,
which I did not read because I don't know because. This...
Oh, shame on you, sir. Shame. This is the...
Because I really don't know, because since I did not read, the chapters before, so I really can't do this. Plus, it's kind of hard to find it online.
Yeah, I will admit that it is hard to find online, but usually through some of the books that you can get... What you can get is the end of the duel between him and the Tegu Master, but however he's Kite, or Kaitos in his Japanese name, is actually getting more used to the idea of having friends and family after actually getting rescued by Yuma and nursed back to health and actually eating dinner and actually saving Yuma's friend. And essentially that's pretty much how it ends. There's not really much to it. And of course, we actually have something special to tell you at the end.
We have a special one shot called. Well, it doesn't really give the name of it, but it's from the creator of Siren. We all remember that, huh?
Yep, that actually was a pretty good series.
And it shows a guy, and I guess it's a spirit, and I gotta tell you, the spirit looks really familiar. Do you remember Shaolin Showdown?
Oh, hey, it's Ruya.
Yeah.
All right, zero creativity. You lose.
You lose. And now, and so And so now we get to Fairy Tale.
Number 3.
Okay, so we get to chapter 325, Union.
He's better than Randy Newman, ladies and gentlemen. Still better than Randy Newman.
Yeah.
Union. And as we left off, unfortunately, future Lucy had been killed by Rogue from the future. And of course, Natsu says for everybody to leave while he fights off the, I guess, murderous intent Rogue. And of course, continues to use his lightning fire dragon abilities.
Natsu is still kicking ass.
Well, I'd be surprised because, having your friend die in front of you isn't exactly a good thing now, isn't it? Even if it's sort of a doppelganger, it's like.
Okay, this is Natsu, the guy who took down 2 Dragon Slayers easily. Like didn't even try.
Didn't even use most of his lightning fire dragon abilities in that fight. He just sort of used it once to block, and then that was it.
Yeah.
However, even Rogue seems to want to actually kill Natsu Dragoneel, but yeah, right. Kill Natsu Dragoneel. That's easier said than done. And of course, we head back to Mary Jane, trying to coax some sense back into Yukino and seeing why. Well, it's kind of complicated because Yukino constantly thinks that she's actually a burden on other people and actually brings them burdens. However, Mary Jane explains that everybody has a purpose and hers is no different. She just has to find it. But aside from that, the princess is ready to open the gate of Eclipse.
With her Hi Hitler.
Yeah, Hi Hitler! I didn't know this fairy tale.
From Japan!
Oh, fairy tales are like Nazis.
And so they're about to open the gate.
Finally, we're going to see what this thing freaking looks like.
No, we don't.
Whatever. And, of course, the group is actually hiding in the bushes. That was a really quick exit out of the endless dungeon.
Now, the thing is... Okay. What Rogue has been telling them... Now, this is going to get confusing, because what Rogue tells them is that Lucy...
somehow stops the Eclipse Gate from opening.
Yeah. But we also learn that the reason why they have to open it now is because it has to charge in order for them to use it. Now, it does make sense, but I question the whole Rain of Fire thing. Like, we kind of have to question, are even the dragons gonna show up?
Yeah, the guards even say that.
Maybe the whole dragon thing. Maybe the whole dragon thing was a lie.
Well, even the guards say that the dragons aren't there yet. And of course, Lucy accepts the fact that she's actually not going to try to close the gate, but we still don't even know what's behind it yet. And finally, we actually get to see the King of Fiori.
And he's short.
Well, we saw Master Markov. Seriously, look, he's in the same panel. King, Markov. They both short.
They look alike. They look so alike. Oh, only one is younger and has a full head of hair.
Well, yep. Take that male pattern baldness. And of course, the king actually asks,
"We're all gonna come together and fight this, which I think this is gonna be a fluke."
Well, I actually hope to see that this is still a pretty gigantic battle, because we're going to have everybody fight. Those of Sabretooth, those of Fairy Tale, those of
everybody.
Pegasus. And, of course, the, I guess, established team of both Mermaid Heel and Quattro Cerberus. I'm saying Cerberus, the tournament's over.
No, they're the Quattro Puppies.
Puppies! And, of course, Lemio Scale's going to get involved again.
And the king cries. And suddenly it's shocking everybody, which I don't know. Is he meant to be like this big, tough king who never cries?
Well, I guess kings are always supposed to establish to have some sort of,
And Jalal shows up.
Yeah, literally Jalal shows up right in front of the 2 Magical Council members, Dorn Balt and...
Because somehow he knows something's up.
Yeah, he's willing to literally go to the people who are trying to capture him. And, of course, about this. You see, Natsu asked about if he's in the middle of his battle with future Rogue, is that, are you really trying to save the future? Now, Rogue gives off this really interesting smirk, which I'm going to say is absolutely no. I'm going to say no for one reason. It's because I'm still sticking to my theory that he's working for some other purpose.
And which we think is Zareth.
But of course that ends and the door finally opens.
Which I'm going to theorize that Zareth is behind that gate.
If Zareth's behind that gate, I swear to God, I'll give you $5.
Yeah. Because this is really getting interesting.
Well, aside from that, we actually have a different segment to actually do on this weekly Shonen Jump review, aside from the weekly Shonen Jump and the Fairy Tail chapter.
We're not going to talk about the one comic that all of us Avatar fans have been waiting for. Avatar: The Last Airbender: The Search, which this is part 1 of 3 parts.
Was the first one The Promise?
Yeah.
This is directly right after the incident over at a pseudo-Earth and Fire Kingdom nation, and of course some government and sort of racial.
Okay. Basically, the purpose of the Promise was sort of like was sort of a foreshadow to the creation of Republic City. That's what it was basically about. It was a foreshadow to Republic City. But in The Search, this is actually about Zuko, Azula, Aang, Katara, and Sokka actually start searching for Ursa, Zuko and Azula's mom.
And we actually start off with a flashback with Ursa and a man named
I think it's pronounced Ikem. So in other words, Ursa had a boyfriend back in Roku's home. Since she's the granddaughter of Avatar Roku. And
yep. Spoiler alert on that one. Descendant of the awesome fire guy.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, but yeah. Spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled anymore, just stop this podcast. Go read it, and then come back to us.
If you don't know what a spoiler alert is, kiss it.
So yeah. During their play practice, Kem proposes to Ursa, and she says yes.
But then we go back to present time. Well, present. I don't know. Back to Aang and friends.
Blah 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 blah. Which I guess everybody's having having a history lesson, college style. Blah 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 blah.
Bueller. This is the best voice ever.
And
it's all actually about creating a different type of government system within the kingdom so that they can actually...
Republic City!
Yeah. It's a kingdom right now.
But then, blah, blah, family, blah, blah.
And Mitsuko mistakes this for honor and just starts going crazy on the troop and just starts firebending everybody and everybody dies. Sorry.
No, he's joking. Basically what this old dude says, okay, and I'm going to use the Ben Stein voice. As I was explaining, Fire Lord Zuko, in ancient Earth Kingdom philosophy, family is in essence a small nation, and a nation a large family.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Shut up. And so
after a few comments from the group, we actually go back to another flashback where Ursa is actually talking with her mother and
to give the good news of her engagement, but unfortunately, Fire Lord Azulon is in their home, and he has a proposal for her to marry Prince Ozai. But for what reason?
Merely for the fact that she's literally the granddaughter.
Due to the fact that she's the granddaughter of Roku, since Sozin and Roku, were very good friends. They thought it would be a good idea to keep the friendship
and the lineage complete, especially within the Fire Nation royalty.
and then we come back to present time again. Since this avatar, it switches back and forth. So we're gonna go from present to past, and back in prison.
Zuko actually tries to talk to Azula, but of course Azula, in her crazy fashion, decides to not say a thing.
Well, the thing is, they want Azula and Ozai to talk to each other first, just so they can just so they can hear, what they're talking about. But the thing is, they're not talking. So Zuko has an idea to give him tea. But Azula, being the crazy bitch that she is, just takes over the tea. Oh, so unorthodox.
Iroh would be shocked. He'd probably get another heart attack.
And Azula, she's probably crazier than in the season finale, where she goes off to telling, speaking to Ty Lee. Tell me how she got to you and Mai. How did she make you lose your fear of me? Just really goes nuts. It's really creepy. So Zuko has an idea of, to talk to her in private, and then we go back to the past, where Ursa is taking, where is being escorted to the Fire Nation, for the marriage ceremony. But Ikem, now mind you, Ikem is a coward, so so this is a very, very special scene where he actually has the courage to fight off against
Fire Nation soldiers with a stage prop. I'm not kidding.
It's very impressive, but the thing is, Ursa wants to talk to him and make him stop. And this actually gets sad because she actually tells him to just let her get married. But the thing is, why? That's one of the things we do not know, why she wants to get married to Ozai. Now, it could be possible, maybe she thought of, like the luxury of being royalty. But
yeah, no.
But the thing is, it's never really said why she decides to go with Ozai.
And then afterwards, we actually go back to the present, where Zuko decides to actually talk with Azula outside while she's pushed around in a wheelchair in her straitjacket.
She actually gets loose and zaps Zuko.
Yeah, but only so that she can make an escape and actually to run off. But then we go straight back to the past,
where he can, where it is actually a sad scene where we see a cameo go hermit, and then he sees some sort of wolf spirit.
But of course, back to the present, after Azula goes on her little, rampage,
he figures out that there's a secret door. Secret tunnel.
I love that song.
And the thing is, in the secret tunnel, there's a chest full of letters from their mom, which we assume is
to lead us to her. And of course, Azula and her
craziness
burns one of the letters and sticks one into the back of her belt. And of course, asks that Zuko actually strike a deal with her. We're not sure what that is yet, but back to the past.
Back to the past, where they get, where Ursa and Ozai get married, and then we finally see, we obviously see the true colors of Ozai being a total ass.
Yeah, he literally tells her that this will be the last time she actually ever sees her parents. She has to literally disregard the fact that she was born in a backwater city, if you will,
it's
and only
sad.
report that she is only of royalty. Completely, like she was falsely born into royalty. This is kind of, that nobility bullshit.
And so the gang, and by gang I mean Aang, Katara, and Sokka.
So back to the present.
Yeah, back to the present. They arrive to the Fire Nation because Zuko called him in, and sort of explains that they're going to search for his mom,
and that Iroh will be left to take care of the Fire Nation while he's gone.
I'll sort of be like a proxy Fire Lord, until they come back, and that's when the minute they see Azula, they react, pretty much how you think they would. Attack!
But this is actually an interesting one because Azula will actually be accompanying them. This is interesting. We trade tough for Azula. We trade, awesome and, has an attitude for attitude and crazy.
But yeah, as they go on this trip, which Zuko, has to constantly tell Azula that she needs to control herself.
Yeah, she doesn't do the best job, especially when Sokka tries to put on the comedy charm with Boomerang and everything. Zaps it out of his hand. Not really much restraint.
But that's for Iroh. As they leave, my first order of business. Everybody drink tea.
Why do you sound like a Southern gentleman? Okay, there, Colonel.
Well, it kind of makes sense.
Can I have your recipe now? I'm sorry, Master. Wow, that was racist.
Shut up. And so Azula's still being a crazy, whacked up bitch, more than usual.
She's literally asking everybody of who was the first one she talked to in order to stop her reign. And I'm guessing this means that she has mommy issues.
Well, yeah, she does.
Yeah, but why does she think that her mother's constantly trying to thwart her? She's not even there. Nobody's even met her.
Okay, but the thing is, okay, so as they're flying around trying to get to Roku's island, suddenly Aang's face changes, and the reason why his face changes is because he senses an angry spirit.
Yep, but it's still kind of funny to see the Avatar go into that kind of. Seriously, he looks like he'll try and bite you.
Yeah.
But as they actually,
but nobody sees the spirit at first. It's only Aang who sees him, and Azula tries to kill herself by jumping off of Appa. Suicide.
This is truly psychotic for this woman.
Yeah, I know, it's so dark.
And even Aang tries to save her, but as crazy as she is, she shoots a hole through his glider.
Hey, this was a gift.
Well, most of those gliders are gifts. I'm surprised that they don't just flimsily break.
And of course, she goes over a river, which she
starts talking to the river. Yeah, this is what a sane person would do.
Yeah, because she sees her mom in the river. Okay. For those who remember from the series finale of Avatar, where Azula starts seeing her mom in the mirror. This time in the river. So and she repeats the exact same line from the season finale. I love you, Azula. I do. And she actually reveals that the only reason why she wants to be a part of this journey was so that when she finds her, she'll kill her. Yeah.
Yep. Sane. Real sane.
But the game stops her. The game stops her and frees her. And
Aang goes rage mode again.
Yeah, sensing the spirit again. Now all of a sudden everyone can see him.
Yep.
Just no explanation.
But back to the past again, where Ursa is writing a letter, a hidden letter,
and puts it in her boobs.
Yeah, that's the best kind of letter place.
And we see a wall of masks, and one of them is the Blue Spirit mask.
Yeah, and these are also include of 3 other masks and 2 masks that include from the previous pages.
And we get to see little Zuko as a little kid. Aww.
Oh, he's so adorable. Too bad he's gonna get that scar later on because of his dick of a father.
So she meets up with one of the servants and requests to send this letter to Ikem, but she's actually
loyal. She's still only loyal to the Fire Lord.
So she gives the letter, and Ozai is angry.
Yep, because this letter seems to be different. It seems that they knew about the letters beforehand, but it seems that this one is different, and Ozai gets really mad.
Which we will tell at the end. We're not going to say anything until then. And so they're fighting off the spirit, and the spirit is somehow has Natsu's ability to eat fire.
Well, it surely showed Sokka that it cannot be affected by the boomerang.
And Appa fights off the spirit, because Appa being the awesome animal he is. Then the wolf suddenly goes Miyazaki on us, by vomiting moth wasps.
Yep, the world of Avatar, people. It's not just one species; it's all of them in one. Crossbreeding. It's okay in this world.
Missoula proposes, that she could beat all of them at once, if she gets unfrozen, and so Zuko unfreezes her, and she uses her lightning to
attract the moth wasp and the wolf away from the others, and then
fetch.
Yep, literally fetch.
And so the battle ends. And so they camp out, and Zuko and Sokka, talk about sisters, and how no matter how much they annoy them or irritate them, they're still family, blah blah blah. And so Zuko, wanting to be nice to Azula, actually covers her up and finds a certain letter in her boot, and so he takes it out. And this letter reads, "My dearest Ikem, it's taken me a long time to admit it, but you were right. I belong with you, and nothing is worth this pain. My one consolation is our son Zuko. When I look into his eyes, it's as if I'm looking into yours. My thoughts are always with you. Love, Urza." Emphasis on our son.
See, this is why M. Night Shyamalan shouldn't have done the Avatar movie, because this is an actual twist.
Yeah. When I saw this, I was like, what? What? And you know what? It makes way too much sense.
Yep, because Zuko's not a complete dick like his dad. Well, his...
No. It's the fact that Ozai is not Zuko's father.
Well, I knew that.
That really makes sense, because that's the reason why Ozai had no sympathy to burn his face.
Or he could.
It makes sense.
Or he could just be a dick. But let's go with that.
Well, he's both. So yeah, and so it also shows the cover for part 2, which we assume is going to mostly focus on the wolf spirit that they fought, and probably about finding Ikem, which will probably lead to Ursa, which is probably exactly where they're going to find Ursa.
Well, otherwise, we will see you then later. This has been Fonzie,
and this is Hero,
and we're signing off.